Everybody is a genius at something. Everybody has a hidden superpower. If you look at the most successful people on planet Earth, they've all embraced their gift. Imagine for a second if Jim Carrey worked at a grocery store putting stuff on shelves. Would that be a great fit for Jim Carrey's personality? Imagine if Albert Einstein was a passionate, vibrant public speaker. Would that vibe with an introverted mathematician? No. All the most successful people, Steve Jobs said this best. He said that you have to love what you do, because the people who are most passionate and love what they do, they're able to persevere and endure. I could go down a list of the most successful people on planet Earth, and you're gonna see one common denominator. They found what they loved, and they found what they were great at, and they went all in on it. And this is called your unique greatness, okay? Your unique greatness is the intersection of what you love and what you're great at, meaning what you perform at. Imagine if you embrace your superpower just a little bit more in your life, how much further would you go? But the question I have for you is, how do you find your superpower? How do you find that alignment of the things you love doing and the things that you excel at? What if I told you there was a step-by-step process, which I'm gonna share in this video, that you can follow to go from not knowing what your gift is to embracing it in just a couple of minutes? Well, that's what I'm gonna break down, because Confucius once said, if you can love what you do, then you don't have to work a day in your life. It sounds like a crazy concept, but let me give a quick example. I'm making this video right now. This does not feel like work. This feels like what I should naturally be doing. It doesn't feel like, oh, I wonder what time I have to stop doing this video. No, I love making videos. I'm an extrovert. I'm a high I on DISC. We're gonna go into this a little bit later. I know what my personality assessments say, therefore I know what I can confidently go all in on based on what vibes with me. I'm gonna give you a quick story on how I learned this for myself. One of the most important lessons that I went through in my life was suffering from debilitating anxiety disorder. I went through a period of years of my life. The only person I felt like I was honest with was my psychiatrist and my psychologist. I was prescribed antidepressants, anti-anxiety medication, formally diagnosed as generalized anxiety disorder. All these problems I had going on in my life. And every single day, everywhere I walked around, I felt like an anxious wreck. I remember when I look back over my life, when I was in college, I was ridden with anxiety. Because when I was younger, I was racing dirt bikes across the United States. I was being an extrovert. I was a musician. I used to sing in front of hundreds of people. And then when I went to college, I was fit into this constrained box. And every single day, I had to study, and I had to get A's, and I had to study, and I had to get A's, and I had to follow the rules, and I couldn't go too far outside the box. And what happened? I had all this built up energy, and then I had it put into a box. And that materialized, that excess energy materialized as me experiencing debilitating anxiety disorder, because I'm an extrovert. I know my 16 personalities. I know my, Myers-Briggs and DISC assessment, and I've been through all the personality assessments, you name it. Kolbe, Predictive Index, Culture Index. I put myself through the ringer because I had to. Because I was going through an identity crisis when I was in college. I took every personality assessment under the sun to try and understand, who the hell am I? Why am I feeling this way? And I learned pretty quickly, I'm doing the wrong stuff. I'm doing stuff that an introvert should be doing, i.e. what I did in school. I'm doing stuff that a high attention to detail person should be doing. I'm doing stuff that a high compliance, the C in DISC, the DISC assessment, should be doing. I'm doing stuff that doesn't vibe with what energizes me. And I remember this one day in college, this person named George, who I went to school with, I was studying risk management and insurance in school because I thought it would get me a high-paying job. That's why I took that major. And one day on the side of class, I get a conversation with this guy, George, and we start talking about Tony Robbins and personal development and Brian Tracy and sales strategies, and holy crap, my anxiety went away. For the entire conversation, I felt no anxiety. And I remember I told my psychologist this, and he goes, "Oh, well, your anxiety can come in waves. Maybe it was just happenstance. You just randomly didn't feel anxiety." No. It wasn't that. What it really was I found something I was passionate about, personal development. And I didn't know that at the time. I was so secretive about my obsession with personal development that I hid it from everyone. I thought the fact that I was interested in personal development meant that I was deficient and had problems, which I did, don't get me wrong, but I didn't segment my problems from my passions. Turns out I was very passionate about personal development, so that stores in the back of my mind. When I graduate college, I end up working for an insurance company. I'm working at a cubicle in a Fortune 100 company, Chubb Insurance, a very large insurance company, and I got a job when I graduated school. I felt so good because my mom was so proud. And you know what I realized? It didn't vibe with me. And within 2 weeks, I quit because I was sick and tired of doing things that I didn't vibe with. See, why didn't the insurance company work with me? It didn't work because it conflicted with my extroversion, my attention to detail, my entrepreneurial spirit, my ability to sell, my ability to persuade. I'm now held in a box again, just like I was in school. And then something amazing happened. I quit. And I went to create my own company. And it was called Worry 180. It was a book on how I overcame my anxiety disorder, which happened very quickly after I quit from the insurance company. My anxiety started reducing by about 50 to 80% of my anxious symptoms went away when I stopped doing the stuff I hated. No one bought the book. I wrote this book for 8 months and published it. No one bought it because I learned one amazing skill, and that was a skill I was missing, and that was the ability to sell and market. So then I went and took my first sales job, and since the day I started my sales job, I kid you not, I have never felt inappropriate levels of anxiety. It was my first time doing something I actually vibed with. I had creative freedom. I was able to use my extroversion and my communication skills. And I immediately felt a click, like, oh, that's something I should be doing. I remember right before that, when I quit my job, I started working with my dad and I started doing work on his marketing campaigns, right? And I built his Google Ads campaign and I did a video shoot for him. And when I did these 2 creative projects for him, I felt no anxiety. I loved marketing. I loved sales. I loved personal development. I'm storing these in the back of my mind as I go through this process of feedback analysis. I'm getting feedback from these experiments that I'm going through in discovering what's my unique greatness. What are the things I love and I'm great at? And then I started a company. And that company is called SMB Team. And it's when I decided to quit my sales job and to take everything I had learned up to that point, my love for marketing, my love for personal development, my love for sales, and to put it under one umbrella. And I invented a company that revolved around the things I loved and the things I was great at: sales, marketing, and personal development. How simple is that? And now I look back over the last 5 years and we've grown from just me to over 70 full-time W-2 employees and from 0 to over $20 million in annual recurring revenue. I received a $45 million valuation for my business last year as I filmed this video. And all of it seems so much easier to me doing this, what I'm doing right now, than when I was working at the insurance company making $50,000 a year hating my life. It was easier to do what I'm doing in my current company because it vibes with my unique greatness than it was doing something for 1/1000th the pay, way less workload, by the way. It had nothing to do with how hard the work was. It had everything to do with whether or not I loved what I was doing. So what I want to walk through for you is how you can bring yourself through this same story. What's this story of discovery for you? I remember when I first started taking personality assessments, the first one that I took was 16 personalities, the Myers-Briggs test. And I learned that I was an ENTJ, okay? So I looked into that, I looked at the results, realized I need to do stuff that vibe with my really high extroversion, intuition. The next one that I took was DISC, D-I-S-C. I learned that I was a high D, dominant, and a high I. I love having freedom in my decision-making, that's dominance. I love living in a results economy. I'm high I, I'm high influence, I'm social, I love influencing others. I'm very low S, stability, I'm very low C, conscientiousness or compliance, meaning I don't like doing routine things. I like spontaneity and newness. I took the personality assessment named Kolbe, the Kolbe personality assessment, and I learned that I was a 4392. 4 fact finder, 3 follow through, 9 in quick start, and 2 in implementer. Look into this stuff for yourself. I realize I am a very high quick start. I don't need a lot of information when I make decisions. I'm not good at creating processes for things. And I can't build furniture is basically what it means. I'm a low implementer. So I start putting all these pieces together, learning about myself, realizing why I hate doing certain things in my life and why I love doing certain things in my life. I take these tests, and I want you to make a commitment to yourself that you are gonna take at least these 3 personality assessments. You're gonna take the Myers-Briggs personality assessment, you're gonna take the DISC personality assessment, and you're gonna take the Kolbe, K-O-L-B-E, personality assessment. Because there's 4 categories of actions that we all have in our life. We have what are called unique greatness activities, we have excellence activities, we have competent activities, and we have incompetent activities. Let me break it down. Let's start with incompetent. Incompetent activities are things that you do throughout a given week that you hate and you suck at. The second category up is competent activities. These are things you're just okay at, you don't like doing. Then the level above that is something you're great at. You can get great results and you're excellent at it, but you don't enjoy doing it. Let me break this down. I personally am great at one-on-one sales, but I don't like doing one-on-one sales. Okay, I was talking with someone earlier who's really great at editing videos, but doesn't like doing editing videos for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, right? Likes more spontaneity than that. And I'm sure you can think for yourself, is there something I'm really, really great at dealing with customers? Is there something that you're really great at that you don't enjoy doing? The highest level where you want to spend the majority of your time is what's called the unique greatness activities. These are the things you love and you're excellent at. What if you spent your entire life doing things that fall within the unique greatness category? How much further would you go? How much more money would you be making? How much more freedom would you have? How much happier would you be? Would work no longer feel like work? How much bigger results would you get in your life? How much more of a role model would you be? So here's the step-by-step process. First, you have to put yourself through these personality assessments. You have to learn what your personality assessments are. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to put everything you've done for the last 30 days in what's called an activity inventory. I want you to write a vertical list of the 20 things that you did over the last 30 days. Things that are in your calendar, things that you invested your time and energy on. And then I want you to, next to them, write, does this one get a U? That would stand for unique greatness. Is this something I love and I'm great at? Does this one get an E for excellence? Things I'm great at, don't enjoy? Does this one get a C? Things I'm okay at and don't enjoy? Or does this one get an I? Something I'm incompetent at, something I suck at and I hate doing. And then I want you to put a big X over all of the C and I activities that you're doing and ask yourself, how can I design my life around not doing my C and I activities? I want you to set a deadline and say, by X date, I am no longer doing X and Y activities. The next step that I want you to do is I want you to look at that activity inventory and I want you to compare it to what your personality test results are. And here's a quick trick. You can use ChatGPT. You can upload all of your personality assessment results. You can literally have ChatGPT take the combination of all of your personality test results and spit back to you a prescription on exactly where you should spend your time if you want to feel alive and lit up. If you want to feel that you're only spending time in your life on things that you love and that you're great at. So look at the results that come from ChatGPT, look at the results of your personality assessments, and I want you to take this list and I want you to compare it to your activity inventory list. You will very quickly be able to see, are the things you're investing time on, do they match with what the personality tests say you're gifted at? Remember, you shouldn't just be gifted at it, you should also love doing it. That's passion, that's purpose. And the last list that I want you to make, there's actually 3 lists I want you to make in order to tie all this together. Number 1 is your double down list. Number 2 is your elimination list. And number 3 is your skill building list. The things that are your unique greatness, you must double down on. I need to see you investing more time on those things. The things that you are incompetent or just competent at, you don't want to invest your life in those things. Put them in your elimination list. Eliminate them from your life. Design your life so you don't do the things that drain you. And last but not least, this is the most important one, create your skill building list. See, if the results come back and it says, you suck at making money, sorry, you gotta learn how to make money. So there's certain things that you're not gifted at that it doesn't matter, you have to learn the skill. So put that on your skill building list. There are things like finances, persuasion, right? Let's say you have a message you wanna share with the world, but you're an introvert. Well, how are you gonna share your message with the world? Well, you're probably, if you're an introvert, you have to learn the skill of creative writing. Because I know a lot of introverts who became huge celebrities in the personal development space through becoming authors. Now, I'm more of an extrovert, so I like speaking on camera and doing stuff like this. There's a lot of introverted people who have a purpose, so you, if you are in that bucket, you have to create the skill of learning how to write and author. What is your skill building list around money, around impact, around having more freedom in your life? So that becomes your skill building list. And with this entire prescription, if you, if I, if everyone involved here watching this video were to just embrace our unique greatness this much more, how much better would the world be? How much more freedom would you have? How much more income would you have? Where would you be? Think about how exciting that is. So what I want you to do as a result of this video is I want you to comment below what was your biggest takeaway and your #1 action step as a result of this video so I can hold you accountable to it. I promise you, I'll look at every single comment that comes in. I wanna see what's your biggest takeaway, what's your biggest action step, and it's my pleasure to serve you. I'll see you in the next video.